Today's podcast is brought to you by Pinnacle Angling, your one-stop shop for all things sea fishing. Whether it's terminal tackle, luggage, clothing, or the soon-to-be-released Pinnacle Angling S1 fishing rod, www.pinnacleangling.co.uk is your one-stop shop for all things you need. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Good afternoon, guys. Matt, Pinnacle Angling. Today, episode 5 of the Pinnacle Angling Rodcast. And today's guest, none other than Mr. Mario Asprou. How are you doing,
Hi
mate? Okay?
everyone. Yeah, not bad yourself.
Yes, all good, mate.
Good,
First
good.
of all, thank you for coming on.
No,
I
thank you.
appreciate you giving your time up to
Yeah, no problem
speak
at
to me
all.
and the viewers. So, what have you been up to, mate? Anything special?
Same old, just fishing and work, really.
Yeah, living the dream.
Same old. Yeah, trying to.
So, how how did you get into fishing yourself, mate?
Well, I was mainly my dad. Well, pretty much solely my dad, and there must have been some sort of spark in my brain to get me into it. Because stories my mum and dad have been telling me from me being so young I couldn't even talk. I was just getting in really bad moods because my dad was going fishing. They couldn't take me because I was
And you
too
can
young.
go, yeah.
Yeah, and eventually they sussed it out that it was that. So my dad started taking me, and just it went from there. Then.
Yeah, so I've noticed online your father does he posts up some fishing pics, obviously, and I've seen him in some of your YouTube videos as well.
Yeah,
So he's been a bit of an inspiration for you
yeah,
in
big
sea
time.
fishing life, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Aside from my dad, there's been a few of the people because when I was young, my dad started taking me on the boat on Benjoma too with Paul Crossman,
All cross,
and
yeah.
that was also a massive boost for me to obviously go into fishing a bit more seriously and then moving down the line. Then once I started doing a lot more fishing, I met through my dad again was Andrew Allsop on Whitewater
Yes,
Charters.
with water, yeah.
And then we started doing a few trips on him, on his boat. And he said to us one day to go on because a guy called Gareth Davis was going on to do an article for Total Sea Fishing magazine.
Fishing, yeah.
And then going on to meet Gareth, do lots of fishing with him. We got on to meeting Steve Gregg, Mike Rose, and a few other big names in the sport. And Gareth sort of talked me into going into the Welsh juniors team.
Yeah.
And I kind of set it off really, a lot more seriously getting into my fishing.
Yeah.
Aside from just being a hobby.
Yeah, you've also got some really good people in that circle of mentors who've taken you under their wing and showed you
Yeah,
the
big
ropes as
time.
well, haven't you?
Well, yeah, there's like, I appreciate it so much, and like I've always said, I'm always happy to help out the younger people in the sport because I know how much it can help you and the
Yeah.
difference it can make.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's kind of the beauty as well with social media and stuff these
Yeah,
days is there's so much information online.
yeah,
Um, you
100%.
you can put in on Google, on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever. You go on any of the fishing pages, or and there's something certain you want to try and research, and there'll be information that you like in it.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it, and there's also the downside of it in a sense because even with everything in social media, there's always the best of everything that's shown. And these
Yes.
big accounts and the younger kids, whether it's fishing or I don't know, and golf or whatever, they see these big accounts and it's always the best result of the best days
Yes.
they've had.
Yeah.
And they just see it as, oh my God, I want to be that.
Yeah.
But they don't see the behind scenes of how long it takes to get to where they are.
Yes.
So I've heard of a few younger kids saying, I want to do this to get a sponsorship. But it all just comes in time. Like I'm massively
Yes.
grateful for Tronic sponsoring me quite a few years ago now, because that come from when I fished the Welsh juniors team and we were up in Scotland
Yeah.
and I was fishing and the guy just came up to me and he was like, "Oh, I noticed you using Tronics gear. How'd you find it?" And I said, "Oh yeah, really
Mhm.
likes the gear and use a lot of it." And then he just walked off eventually and Gareth Davis, I think, or my dad came up to me and he said, "Oh, do you realise who that was?" And I said, "No." He's like, "Oh, that's George Cunningham, the owner of Tronics Pro."
Oh no.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh." So it could have ended up being a lot
Yeah.
different. So I could have said, "No, I don't like this stuff."
Yeah. Yeah. Rubbish. But But
Very good
obviously,
insight.
it's not rubbish gear. It's great gear,
No, I
and
use it for 90% of my fishing.
yeah. You know, I know a few top anglers, like show anglers and stuff, who are using the Tronics gear as well. And
Yeah,
I I know you've just been involved in the promo stuff of the new range that's been released as well.
yeah. They come up to fish. It was Georgia and Mike first, or they come to fish on the deeps with me for the day, just taking all photos and little clips of just content just for the social media side of things.
Yeah. So speaking of social media, you've obviously got a YouTube channel. Um,
Yeah.
Honestly, some of lately, just to name a few, you were mullet video at Fontegary,
Yeah.
and you were your video that you done on Ogmore River mouth.
Ah,
Yeah,
for the
the bass
bass.
fishing. Yeah, honestly, they've been two of the most informative videos that I've watched in a very long
Oh,
time.
I appreciate
I think
that. Thank you very much.
honestly, I really I my missus thinks I got ADHD. I'm a bit of a scroller. I'm a bit of a flick next. But those kind of videos where the how to, I think
Yeah.
sometimes the way you present them, and I think is really good. It's
Oh, thank
really
you.
engaging, and I I I think that's. I think the other people are noticing that as well, because I've noticed your subscriber count just creeping, going.
Yeah.
And it seems to be growing pretty quickly, don't it?
Yeah, I mean that is pretty much the main reason why I wanted to start the YouTube video because a lot of the YouTube channel was because I have done lots of different types of fishing and it would be great to share that knowledge with different people that
Yeah,
aren't fortunate enough to know people in that side of fishing, whether it be the bass or mullet or whatever.
yeah,
And just try and help people because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like I've never been a secretive person, whether it be marks or time of year to fish certain places or whatever. It's just nice
yeah,
to see everyone catching fish and any video, it all helps in the mix of it all.
100%. And I think that comes across in your videos as well. I don't
Yeah,
think you can face something like that as a you've really come across well as a kind
no,
of a
that's
teacher
good. Yeah,
in the content you're putting out. Like, so definitely keep that up. I'm
thank
learning
you.
plenty from it. I really am. I'm
That's great to hear.
Yeah, I like I'm the I'm kind of going. A few years ago, I was chasing. I kind of wanted to chase big fish, big fish, big fish.
Yeah,
I'm going backwards, and I'm
yeah,
looking more now. I want to catch more species. I want to be better at match fishing.
yeah.
I
That's
don't care
it.
about catching 21 centimeter bass. And do you know what I mean? It's
Well, that's it. Because if you can get that, if you can learn a whole different load of aspects of fishing well, or have a general knowledge, you can, in my eyes, catch anything. Because when I was young, I wanted to get the stiffer jaws like a five, so I bought a pair of Century Excalibur TTs,
yes,
and all my rigs I had 150 pound hook links, 60280 hooks, half a macro. I used
yeah,
to fish big all the time, wanted to catch big
yeah,
fish, being young. I just thought, what's the point? And then I started to do a lot of fishing with other people. One of them being Daniel Crump, who's massive into the match scene, and
yes,
realizing that you don't need to fish heavy. And obviously, you get so many more bites and get involved with the Charmix boys and Joey Arch being one of them. I remember the time he said to me that I never fish, well, I rarely fish over 50 pound hook links on my pulleys. And I was
yeah.
like, 50 pound, that's light. So I thought I'll try it. And literally, the bites increased so much.
I think it's got to be something. It's got to be the movement in the
Yeah,
water. I think it's, but yeah, similar to yourself. I've dropped down. I was always 100 pound, 100 pound,
yeah,
80 pound. Now I'm back. I'm down to 80 pound body, just because if I
yeah,
need to cast 8 ounces, I can. But then
yeah,
my hook lengths for the majority of my rigs now are 60 pound, 60 pound down, unless obviously you
yeah.
go in for something which is big.
But yeah,
But
but you need it. And
and
like what I've always said to people is watch underwater feeding footage whether it's
yes,
a carp boys or people fishing for barbel on a stream or something, and you see the fish moving in, picking up the freebies or the natural food, and they pick it up without any hesitation. But as soon as there's a hook link and a hook involved, they're a lot more wary. So it's just
Yeah,
getting the gear as finesse and as natural as possible. Which you got
yeah,
limits with the sea fishing because you got the rocks and that sort of thing to think about. But it makes such a big difference. Like ray fishing, for instance, I never go over 50 pounds for my hook links. I just don't
yeah,
bother. For instance, I was fishing more for yesterday for the hounds. I was using 40-pound hook links because it's just on sand. They haven't got teeth,
yeah,
and they're
exactly.
not.
And
They pull
you
back, but how much pressure are you going to put on a fish?
and you're using a dongle, I'm assuming, for the hounds as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
pretty much
you haven't
everything
got any
now.
worry about any um any of the hook link being in the mouth
No,
of the fish anyway. So
well, that's
but
it. I'd rather have like a stack of rigs in my box and change my rig on every three fish because a hook link trade will change a hook link every now and then than fish a heavy hook link for the same session. And in total, you
yeah,
do end up getting less bites. Like a lot of time,
yeah.
I'll change my hook link through the session two or three times, depending on the ground I'm fishing, obviously.
Like I always used to be um I used to be pulleys,
Yeah,
6 oaks, just trying to catch the big fish. But honestly, now I used to be bad for it. I used to say to people they pull a three hooker out on a pleasure session. I'm like, oh, like, what are you doing? But
we
I
never
I'm
can.
I'll fish three hooks, three hooker, three hook flapper, size two hooks on a pleasure session
Yeah,
all day.
yeah.
I, I'm going to catch fish. I want to
Well,
catch
that's
fish,
it.
and
Like if
three
there's
hooks
big fish in front of you, oh god.
exactly. No,
If
no,
there's big
yeah,
fish in front of you, then by all means, if they're there to catch, you can catch them. But 9 times out of 10, there's not a fish over like 15 pounds in front of you. A lot of the time, I still get
yeah,
like you were on the sand spit or something. There's a chance of a big ray, but even then, a blonde, a 20-pound blonde, for instance, which is a fish of a lifetime, you'll
yeah,
catch that on a decent quality size four hook even with 20-pound hook link. Because how much pressure are you going to put on that fish?
yeah.
Especially with the stretch in your main line and everything. It's surprising how light you can go.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
So
surprising.
talking about stretching the main line, and I was I fished Newport Open on Sunday just gone, and
Yeah,
Di Ridge, one of the older fellas who I used to be in a club with, he was fishing it and he uses braid, and
yeah,
like the you don't realize how much stretch is in your mono
yeah. It's
line
surprising.
until you see somebody
Yeah,
fish the braid. It's really
it's
surprising.
shocking.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like I've told you that a bit. I'm not a massive fan of braids for my beach fishing, but I use it now and then. And sometimes you get a bite, you're thinking, that's a big fish. And you're reeling it with
yeah,
a dog on there or something. And it's
yeah,
surprising the bite that you can get.
yeah. Like he was pulling his line to show me
Yeah.
the bite detection on braid, and it was literally it was instant. It
It falls
was
a tip round, doesn't it?
it's crazy, absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So
But
in
you
some situations, it's very good. But if I had to pick
yeah,
one, it'd be mono off the beach,
oh no,
like our style
100%.
of fishing.
Yeah, 100%.
Our style of fishing, it would
Yeah,
be.
you can imagine leaving a full spool of braid out there on a rough ground or
Yeah.
something. You know,
That's the long
yeah,
haul.
yeah, exactly. So obviously, with your social media, there's a video or a series of videos you done recently when you was out in South Africa.
Yeah.
So what no, I didn't realize until we had the conversation, but you actually do guiding out in South Africa as well, yeah?
Yeah, so it's not like me personally as a guide, but it's sort of like more of a hosted trip, if you like, and I'll help out
Okay.
with the guides out there. So, because it all started from, I think it was 2016 or 17, we had a family holiday where we'd done a bit of travel around South Africa. And me and my dad, for the past few years before this, was seeing these people on Facebook catching these big bronze whalers and ragged sharks. It was always Sean May, who would go fish stores.
Yeah.
I was thinking, with that, we're like an hour away from Mossel Bay. Like we have no choice. We got to go for the day. And we
After,
went
yeah.
met up with him, and we were like just mind blown. It was insane. We caught some decent fish that day, and that was September. And then we booked a trip for the following February. So it was me, my dad, Gareth Davis, and Mike Groves, and it was just mind blowing to say the least.
Non-stop.
And it's just every year since I've been, aside from COVID, I've been literally every year. I've booked next year and plan on going the year again after. So
Yeah.
addictive to say the least.
Yeah, and some of the fish that you know, like I seen the video that you done with Milo and
Yeah,
Curtis ended up making the news, the local news back home where he had an interview. Was it
yeah,
the BBC? I think it was
yeah.
the
There's
BBC,
always
wasn't
one.
it? Yeah, nearly had his arm ripped off by a shark, but
Yeah, that was a close call. He got off very lucky, very
very
lucky.
lucky. Yes.
Because I mean, the photos, you can see the size of their teeth, but when you see them in the flesh in the water, you're thinking like, imagine if that bit you. And then when you see someone get bit, you instantly think, oh my God, or
Yes.
something's bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
But thanks
100%.
to
That's
Milo, oh, go on.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say is that's what them fish are designed for. You know, their
Yeah,
teeth and their jaws are there to rip flesh apart,
yeah, they're
basically,
predators.
because they haven't got
Yeah,
hands, they haven't got arms to hold
that's
something,
it.
so it's got to be done with a jaw, innit? So
Yeah,
he's very, very lucky man, Curtis.
yeah. And thank because it was, it wouldn't have happened if I was literally because I was helping him land the fish a bit more with the guy that we had, Liam,
Yeah.
and I was off doing a video for my channel, like a foraging video, and
Okay.
it was me and Josh walking around looking for octopus and all these different cool stuff. And Kurt phoned us and he was like, boys, come back now. I've literally just been bit by a shark. We're like, oh, shut up. No, you haven't. Stop
Yeah.
joking. We're doing a video. And he was like, no, seriously, come back now. And he just hung up. So we're thinking, surely he's not going to
Yes.
get bit by a shark, but we got to go just in case. Walked up to the
Yeah.
house. And all you could see was just his blood all over the floor and him just sat there with his towel wrapped around. And Milo was stood there looking a bit sort of like panicky.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh, yeah, it's happened. It's happened. But thankfully, where we're staying, it's like a big estate, and there's a guy Roger who owns a whole nature estate, and he's got loads of people living on there, and there's a ranger. So thankfully, we called him, he come over and got Kurt and took him to hospital with Josh, and he was back
Yeah.
within like I think 3 hours. I think so. It was quick, but close because he said even because up there, the private hospitals that you have to go to because the public ones are just you
Yes.
end up leaving with what you went in.
Yeah.
And the ranger said to me, he's like, find his insurance stuff because if you can't find it, they won't even look at him. They'll leave him there. They won't even touch him. So I was in a bit of a panic thinking, like, how do I know? I haven't got a clue where it is. So thankfully, I found it on his phone. So that was a lucky call. But yeah, he got off lightly because they're more of a scavenger shark, so they could easily infect the cat, the ragged shark.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was our main worry. They didn't get affected, but
Yeah.
he was very lucky.
And he was lucky with the actual place it bit him as well, because if you're
Yeah,
talking 6 inches further down towards the
yeah,
wrist, you know,
yeah.
and that could
Scary
have
that.
yeah, that could have ended really badly. So
Yeah.
the sharks, what's the biggest you've caught out in South Africa?
The bronzy I've had one of 200 kilo, which is like 440 pounds, I think it is. The raggies I'm not sure, but in the 400 pound bracket as well.
Yeah, and
How
both
and
them
even
fish are
hounds, yeah, everything. I've very done. I think I've done 2 trips on the boat out there, but they're normally for like the reef species stuff. You can't
yeah,
really catch up with. Because it's not really worth fishing for a shark off the boat out there because it's pointless in a way because it's easy to catch them off the beach if you're with the right
yeah,
people.
yeah.
And even hounds, like I've had hounds to 60 pounds. My dad had one that was 72 pounds one day. And when you see a hound of that size, you're thinking,
Yes.
like, that's a serious
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, 100%.
But it's mad
100%.
how they grow so much bigger out there, the hounds.
But I know, and I've seen a few, like I watched quite a bit of like American sort of boat fishing in Florida Keys
Yeah,
and stuff, and like they call them dogfish out on the thing, you know,
yeah,
and they're like, oh, the dogfish, and then they lift up a big hound. That's a
yeah,
little bit different to our dogfish, but
yeah,
uh, so obviously you spoke about doing the Welsh team on the boats. Do you
yeah.
still do much boat fishing now?
Oh, the Welsh Juniors team, is that what you
Yeah.
mean? That was just for the beach
Was that on the
fishing.
boat or I was
No,
for
on the
sure.
beach. Yeah, I
Ah,
never
right,
got
okay.
involved with the boat fishing side of things. It's
Yeah.
all my boat fishing was always pleasure fishing.
Yeah. Have you ever owned a boat yourself?
No, I wanted to
Yeah.
until Crumbly bought his, to be honest, and I realised the
Yeah.
stress
You don't
involved
need.
in him. I don't have a
Isn't as
good mate
bad,
that's
is
got
it?
a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
look, it's
I would like to have one day.
Yeah, it would be
But
nice,
like
but
you've got to, I think you've got to have you've got to have the time, and it's got to be, you've got to be using it, I mean, for it to
yeah,
be.
and the spare money because
Yeah,
like the standard sort of saying is, if something goes wrong, think of the price and double it.
yeah,
That's what I've always been told, isn't it? Like there's no one Crumpy, like little problems he's had, and it's just like so much more expensive than you never imagine.
yeah.
So as
Cheaper
much
just
as
to pay for it.
it's not as nice as it would be, I don't think I'd ever have one for round here because
Yeah,
there's not. I don't see there's. I don't think there's many fish to catch on in a channel off a boat that you can't catch off the beach.
yes.
In my eyes, there isn't really. Like you'll catch
Well,
hounds earlier, you'll catch spur dogs in higher numbers, but other than that, there's not really anything
that you
on a
won't catch on the
boat.
beach in the right
No.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And unless if you start going West Wales for species and stuff like that.
That's it. Like I love pollock fishing, so that was where
Yeah,
it come into its own for me. Is that sort of fishing off the reefs and the wrecks and stuff.
yeah,
There's a lot of travelling then.
exactly. My mate used to
But
have a Arvo 250, and he used to do 6 months in Penarth Marina, and
yeah,
then the 6 months he'd do up in Swansea. He'd
yeah.
come
Because
and
that's the same
stay.
with Andrew Allsop. Through the winter months he's in Penarth Marina,
Yeah,
and then through the summer months he's down in Neyland then for obviously the shark fishing and more now the tuna fishing.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
maybe
think
one
that's
day.
going to take off pretty soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
think
mad.
that's.
It's mad to say that it's easier to catch a tuna over £500 than a cod over £5
I know.
off a boat.
Crazy, isn't it?
If you
Crazy.
said that to someone 15 years ago, they'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
Because a
It's
£5
changed
cod
so
isn't a
much,
big fish, but it's now it's a fish
but
of a lifetime almost.
it's changed so much now in even like the last 5 years, isn't it? Speaking
Yeah,
to people who like on the weekend, and they were fishing, telling me that fishing up on the W, up the top of the channel, and only 5 years ago they were having sessions where they were catching like 5, 13 pound fish a session, and now,
yeah,
like you say, you're lucky to catch 3 pound cod,
yeah. Oh, it's
you know.
mental. It's a shame
But
really
I'm,
because it's very
I'm
enjoyable fishing, but
yes. I like the like at the moment the Bristol Channel has gone absolutely crazy with the taupe fishing
yeah,
off
it's,
like
it's quite
accessible
cool seeing
marks.
it playing out. Yeah, because the past few days seem to have eased off slightly. Well, the past like week, say.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of sessions trying with no luck, but
yeah, but
it's cool to see.
and I think like it started last year when we had that really settled weather for a while, and everyone was down on the nap pulling in the mackerel,
Yeah,
and like if the mackerel there, then, and how many people have caught like taupe pups and stuff, so they're
yeah,
obviously coming in, and they're obviously in that area,
and
and it was
yeah,
only a matter of time before somebody started pulling them in.
because it was mad how it's the exact same time of year. Because it was the 12th of June last year is when I was on the boat with Crumpy,
Yeah,
and we were anchored up on Castle Rock, I think, and we had the drift around the Kerry, and he dropped feathers down, having to go for bass off Castle Rock, and I was fishing with a lure, fishing for bass, and he was fishing with feathers. And he was like, "Oh, I
yeah,
think I've got something on it, I think a little pollock or something," and he had a triple shot of mackerel, thinking,
yeah.
that's bad. Then it
What?
started from that, which was the 12th of June, and then also went crazy. And it was
Yeah,
pretty much exact same days when I heard of the first hope call.
yeah.
It was always around the same sort of time of year, which is quite interesting, really, something to keep in
You know,
mind.
I if you hear of people getting bit off and stuff, and it's like obviously the
Yeah,
old fisherman's tale. I got one myself from when I was on Skye. I had a run one day on Skye when I was out fishing, and I pulled it in, and it ran off again, and
yeah,
I couldn't get it up in the water. I stayed deep, and then it ran off round the side of the rocks, and I couldn't get around quick enough. And then when when it popped me off, the rig come in, and I was only using 50 pound hook length, right? And the line was cut clean through about an inch
yeah,
above the hook. You know what I mean? And I'm in my mind, I'm talking to myself, telling me, "Oh, it must have been a nice eel or something." But the
yeah.
way it screamed off, it was
Must have been a
yeah.
tope. Okay,
Well,
yeah, it's cool to see.
maybe because obviously they
Yeah,
are they are getting caught now. When you hear the people getting bit
Yeah.
off on witches and the deeps and stuff after having runs and stuff. You
Well,
know.
when we had those mackerel come up last year, I heard of one lost off the white light in Barry.
Yeah.
So they came that far up,
Yeah.
which is there's no surprise because there was mackerel being caught up on our pier. So
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was because my workshop is in the Bendrix, and obviously right around the corner is a monkey tongue. On my
Yeah.
break time, I was literally walking around with a
Going
bucket and
in.
a rod and filling up a cooler box full of mackerel and come back to work.
Yeah.
And the water was literally just chin clear. It was mental. I was watching backs and Muller just cruising around every now and then.
Yeah.
That was quite cool to see
Even
actually
up that
from
far,
here.
like.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mental. I don't think it'll happen
Crazy.
again that much. It might do
No.
now and then, but
We
not consistently.
we we were on the nap, and my mate Craig is very good at the small stuff, the species, the size 8 hooks, the 12-pound fluoro hook lengths, and
Yeah,
he was fishing for gars off the nap, right? And you could literally watch the gars come in and take the bait. It was
mental,
absolutely
isn't
mental.
it?
Yeah,
Well, even I had
crazy.
quite a few scads as well down by here off the Bendrix.
Yeah.
Even the scads were coming up in big numbers.
So speaking of different species, part of what you do on your YouTube channel is your saltwater tank.
Yeah,
How long that honest to God, that is an absolutely fantastic idea. Is a really good idea to fill a tank up with crystal channel saltwater fish. That's I bet
that's
it's
because
crazy
that
to watch,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's surprising how some fish react. Like it started because when I was a kid, obviously being so like obsessed with anything that came from the sea or any fall water, I always had tanks, and even like my parents had a tank in the house and all that. And I always thought, oh, I should get something and put fish in it that I catch. Because like, as a
Yeah,
kid, when I come before I could drive, I was always down in Sunny Bay just foraging in the rock pools and stuff. And I had this small tank, little 2 foot tank. I'd set that with salt water, completely messed it up, stuck my bedroom out, so I didn't have chillers and everything. And
yeah,
then done a little bit better, and it got better. And then I got to the point where I was like, let's do a proper setup. So we got this tank
you go.
and set that up, which was fun to get in because it took 8 of us to carry in because it was
What was
just a pure weight of
the first fish you had in there?
pouting out of
Was
all
it?
things. A pouting and a flounder because I had a smaller tank still set up at the time, and I had a
Yeah,
couple of pouting and little flounders and stuff in there, so I put those in there,
yeah.
and then just added to it all the time. Then
I'd watch like when you're doing the videos and you think and I'm I'd always watch the tank because I'm watching the eels and stuff, right? And I'm thinking, right, that poutin's gonna swim past that eel now, and that
yeah,
eel you have it, and they don't.
and well with the congers specifically, I don't think that I'm now in the tank now. I don't know what it's like out in the wild, but they won't
Yeah,
take food unless it's literally like
in
well,
front
that
of their
far off his
nose.
nose, yeah. It's like their eyesight's rubbish and their senses. But then, I suppose if you put something in there that's cut, they do cut up to it because obviously the tank coming out. But a live fish, maybe it's a bit different for them. I'm not sure. But like the cod, for instance, were like so much more aggressive than the bass. A bass you
Yeah,
rarely see attack another fish in the tank when the
yeah,
lights are on. But in the night, that's when the bass will feed. But a cod is just 24/7.
constant.
If I want to win you, I'm going to do my best to fit you on off kind of thing. And same with the Rocklin. The Rocklin also, I had a Rocklin bite my hand one day and it was bleeding because it actually cut me open a bit.
I mean, you can see the rockling in there when you catch a rockling. You can see how aggressive they
Yeah.
are,
I
and
mean, it's
things.
like the bait they take as well.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I've caught slugs on big half a mackerel and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
I've thrown out for an eel, and I come in with a nice rockling like. But
Yeah.
well, so the cod are really aggressive in the tank, are they?
Yeah. I think out of all the fish I've had, it's been the most aggressive I've had is the cod, Rocklin. Um, they're probably two that are up there that will just
Yeah.
nail, and the wrasse as well. But notably the cod and the rockland, the two fish I've had that have just gone up to anything that's gone in and just hit it. Like
Right
if you
away.
just put your finger in, the cod and the rockland would just come up and nail it if they had the chance to.
Is it?
Yeah, like I think I showed it in the first video I done. I was hand feeding a conger, and the
Yeah.
one day I put the squid in, and my finger was in the water a bit as well. And the conger had come up, grabbed the bottom of the squid, and pulled it aside, and the rock linked up and grabbed my finger and just shook his head around. And it literally put loads of pinholes. It was bleeding on my finger
Yeah.
because it just seen something. It was just like, right, I'm having that, and
I'm having
just
it.
grabbed my finger. And the
Because
rat, another rat like me as well a few times.
in my mind, whenever I'm fishing, scratching about for slugs and stuff, I'm thinking fish in little nooks and crannies, and it's coming
Yeah,
out of a pool. I've never thought of a rockling actually moving up in the water column to take
yeah,
something
that's it.
that
You
is
got rays as
off the ground,
well.
like, you know?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
rays I've had come right up in the water, taking
yeah.
food. I think people are very stuck in this stereotypical thing of like an up and over is a better ray rig because your hook link's guaranteed to be on the bottom.
Hard on the bottom. Yeah,
A ray will come well up in the water to feed if it wants to because it's surprising that, for instance, I can't remember what his name was, but there's a guy the other side of the channel that nets them out of Minehead, that nets
okay.
the herring and the sardines. And
Yeah,
he said the one day we had congers that had wrapped up in the net and twisted it, and they're not far down the water column. So even the congers are coming right up feeding on the
coming
scraps
up.
and the herring and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's surprising actually,
No, it
especially in the
is. It's
lighter
interesting.
off.
Especially like small eye, like the amount of small eye you catch, which your rod is just like bouncing. You look out Ogmore, and then the amount of small eye I've had on top of the water, which is
Yeah,
just taking a bait and just come up straight to the top of the
that's
water,
it.
and you're just skipping it across the
That's it.
surface.
Like traditionally, obviously, regular sandy, like sandy are on the bottom when it's in the land. They're in a big
Yeah,
shoal normally towards the top of the water column.
yeah,
So there's like for instance in Africa, a lot of the time they'll use pop-ups on the dongle when they're ray fishing. I've noticed more so for the duckbill rays, from what I found.
yeah,
And it's more of a visual thing up there, really, because it's obviously clear water, just to get that bait up in the face of the fish. But it's surprising. Like I've used pop-ups, I've caught rays, I've caught hounds on it, I've caught just about most fish that you commonly catch on here with a popped-up
yeah.
bait. It's interesting just to play around with different stuff.
I do on my three hookers. I generally put a pop up on my three
Yeah,
hookers just because I don't know, just a little extra buoyancy, just a bit of movement. I'm hoping
yeah. And also I
might
find
set the
pop-ups
fish in.
on the rough work really well because I find if the bait goes in between two little rocks, something like a
Yeah,
rockling or anything, even a hound, they can't actually get in the hole of the rock to find your bait. Whereas if it was a pop
yeah,
up and it just kept a bit more buoyant just to get it out, so when that fish sucks the bait out, it just shoots back into their mouth.
yeah,
And it's little things that do make a difference, I find. They're
yeah.
not
I think
necessarily
so.
doing it to pop the bait right up,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
just to aid the bait
I
going in
think
the mouth of the fish.
I think sometimes people hear the name pop up, and
Yeah,
they just think that the lead is going to be on the floor and the bait is going to be just up in the air, but when they don't,
yeah.
you-
No, especially with
so
the tides we got.
yeah, exactly.
Like even when
You
there's
know,
no
yeah,
tide, there's still a bit of a flow that's going
yeah.
to pull it down slightly.
So what plans have you got for the future? Have you got have you well
Um,
say that before that, have you got any plans to try and win back your crown of having Welsh record talking that has just been taken off you by Mr. Gareth Griffiths?
no, to be honest, I just without like going into it too much, I've never been a fan of the top scenes because I've
Okay.
seen so many friendships completely
Yeah.
ruined and people change purely just because of a tote. And it's just,
Yeah.
I've never been a big fish person. I'd rather sit on Cheddar catching loads of Bream Maguna than go to West Wales and hopefully catch one fish.
Yeah.
I've always been like, even when I used to fish with people down west of the Tobe, I used to always
Yeah.
be in the rocks catching the wrasse and rockling and stuff and
Hmm.
pollock and all that, and not really trying for the Tobe.
The
But I
light
just,
rod, just leaving your
yeah,
big rod out there.
it's not a scene I like to get into the tote fishing for a whole different load of reasons.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
know what you mean. Yeah. So
but
plans
it's
for the
nice
future.
to catch a big fish, but
No,
it's always
100%.
about
And
big fish.
yeah. So what are the plans for the channel? And
Um, I suppose take it as it comes. I got a few things that I'm planning on that I'm working on at the minute, which I'm hoping to be coming up. within the next like month or two. But nothing specific, to be honest. I just take it as it comes, really, because I'm busy with my work. Obviously, because I run my own joinery business, so it's hard to balance multiple things
Yeah.
whilst obviously keeping my customers happy and the workshop running well. So yeah, just take it as it comes, really.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, no, it's. I'll be keeping an eye out because I'm hoping come the summer now, as we go into the summer months, if you're feeling like a bit of traveling or West Wales, you can start doing a bit of species hunting and
Yeah,
showing us how to pull out all those good species that you
yeah,
really got to catch in. So one question I do ask everybody who comes on is the three Fs. That is your favorite
hmm,
venue, your favorite bait, and your favorite rig. They don't all have to tie into each other, as in a rig you use on a certain venue with a certain bait. They could be for a number of different reasons.
yeah,
But what would be, and I think I'm going to know your answer for the favorite venue because I started to watch your latest video earlier on,
yeah,
and you kind of said there at the
yeah,
start of the video. So
yeah.
what's your favorite venue?
So it'd be low water on the Monkey Pole on Sunny Island,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's just one of those marks where no matter how the channel's fishing, you got a chance of catching all sorts of species there. And whether
yeah,
it be it's a no, you're possible not. But like whether the hounds are in, it's a great hound mark. The blondes, if the cod ever did make another appearance, then it's an amazing mark for them. Just genuinely, so much you can do just sat on one ledge. The mullet fishing brilliant as well. The bass fishing, there's just all sorts to
yeah,
be done there. So, and it's just, I love that kind of fishing off the rocks and stuff. And even just, I suppose I would say Sunny Island in general rather than just a monkey pole, because there's a
yeah,
whole load of different species. Good soul fishing on there. I do that time of year.
yeah.
There's just all
Yeah,
sorts.
on the big, you like I know you were saying about fishing Sally Bay and stuff
Yeah.
when you was younger, and I've always looked at that when I'm crossing over the causeway over to Sally Island. I do look to my left towards like the sand spit and stuff on that bay, and I've thought to myself loads of
Yeah.
times, I wonder what's in there. There's got to be
Yeah.
probably
Holds a lot of
bass
fish.
and loads of
Yeah.
flatties and all sorts in there. So. I need to get myself down that area and
Yeah. And even in Sunny
give it a
Bay,
go.
yeah, like you could plan a session down there in Sunny Bay itself, because like half the beach is rough ground or mixed to rough, and then half the beach is just passing on some mud and it goes up to Hayes Point. And the fishing
Yeah,
sites I've had down there, like for the prawnies and eels, for instance, I've been down there some nights and caught like six prawnies and seven eels type thing. It's some nights it just goes off down there. Nothing massive. I mean, I've had eels into low doubles and prawnies up to about 7, 8 pounds, and some big
yeah,
bass, cod fishing, brilliant down there. And a lot of it is literally just 30, 40 yards that you don't need to cut far at all down there. So,
yeah.
but
I
yes,
think
good fish down there.
a lot of people. I'm learning a lot myself. Um, that the fish are not always a million miles out. There's
No, no
so
chance.
many fish that you can catch, literally
Yeah,
20, 30 yards out.
yeah.
You
Like
know,
specifically the bass, like you always see people just getting into fishing, stood there with a bass on the beach because they can't cast far yet. So they are
yeah.
fishing in the prime spot for bass.
Yeah, I had to look at the juniors all the time as well in the comps, right? And the juniors always weigh in. There's
Yeah,
very rare is there a comp where there hasn't been juniors weighing in, and then when you
yeah,
watch them casting, they cast in 50 yards max, some of them,
yeah,
and there's fish here, and whether it's
yeah,
silvers, bass, and congers, whatever it is, they
yeah.
are
It's
pulling
surprising
in.
what is in close.
It is really surprising.
And
So
especially beaches like Sunny Bay, for instance. In fact, I'd say from Lavernock Point to the Bendrick, it's just genuinely such a rich part of the coastline because there's so many
yeah,
crabs and prawns and rockling and rock pools and stuff. It's just there's always fish, food for the fish there. Whereas you
yeah,
go to like say Ogmore, say the sea lawns, if there's no sand eel there, there's not really much else for the fish to feed on, and obviously the prawns
yeah,
in the sand and stuff. But it's just genuinely a very rich part of the coastline around
yeah,
Sunny area, which is
yeah. It
a
is good.
big reason why I fish as well quite consistently.
What would you say is your favorite bait?
Squid,
Squid?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be squid. Yeah,
I like squid.
yeah, yeah.
It
Ragworm
catches.
is probably the next one, but squid anywhere, even anywhere in the world. squid's just the one.
Yeah,
Catches anything anywhere, really, doesn't it?
yeah,
Just a
yeah.
good
It's
all
really
rounder.
good, really versatile. I love a squid head on
Yeah,
a 3 o'clock.
yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
very good bait. And it's strange how the cuttlefish doesn't seem to fish as well, even though it's a very similar bait. And octopus, I've never really done well with octopus when I've tried it. But you go up to
yeah.
squid, and if I'm ever on a tough session, I'll always just keep a squid out there because you know whatever species of fish goes past, if it's hungry, it's gonna take
It'll
it
take
in.
squid. Yeah.
Yeah,
And what is your favorite rig?
that's quite a tricky one. I'd probably say loop rig.
Yeah,
I
I'm the
Yeah,
same.
I'd probably say loop rig. It's a tricky one because it's the one thing that is so dependent on what you're fishing for and what ground you're fishing on, in my eyes. But I say a
Yeah,
loop rig would you could fish with just about anything with the loop rig.
yeah,
We'd
yeah.
probably do that.
You can set it up in a way as well where you cover smaller hook on the top um with a ragworm bait, and if you wanted to, you can your bigger hook, then you're fishing for ray,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's it.
you
Yeah,
know. So it is a
it's a very versatile rig.
really versatile rig.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's
So
a great rig.
any advice? So any youngsters watching this now, or anybody new to fishing, what would be the one piece of advice that you wish? It's probably hard for you, this one, right? Because you've had so many influential people who have helped you in your sea fishing career. But what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's new to sea fishing that you think you may not have been told yourself?
It is a tricky one, but I'd probably say just do what you want to do, not what you think other people are going to be impressed by what you do, if that makes sense. Because I think too many
Yeah.
people like see the big accounts on social media, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and think, "Oh my God, I got to catch this fish to be noticed or to
Yes.
get like an X amount of likes on a post," which I'm massively not a fan of. With that's with social media, I'm kind of no, I don't like it more than I do like it for that reason because you do see
Hmm.
youngsters see it and they're thinking, "Oh my God, that's what I need to catch?" But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that. So when I first started fishing, my dad, I remember we were on Ogmore Deeps, and it was quite a warm, hot day, like the weather has been recently. And my dad was catching a few rays here and then dogs, and I couldn't really catch much. So I started fishing with
Yeah.
tiny hooks with work, and I started catching rockling and blennies right under my feet. I was thinking, I got excited because I was getting bites. It was action, and
Right.
that's the most
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
thing. So just do what you
Yeah.
want to do and not do it for anyone else, but just you really. And if you get to the point where you're fortunate enough and a big company approaches you, then happy days, it's a win. But
Yeah.
just take it bit by bit and just do what makes you happy.
Do it for the love of doing it.
Yeah, that's it. I think there's too
I
many people out there that are doing it for the well, you call it fame, but just for recognition, I should say.
Yeah. I do I probably am done a fishing video now, right? For I've got one filmed, right, and it's on my laptop ready to go, but I'm just not uploading it at the moment because I I haven't lost the thing for YouTube, right? But do you know when I go fishing and I'm not filming,
Yeah,
I enjoy that session a lot more.
yeah. I 100% get what you mean because I had a day. It was me, my mate. It was who was it? Robbie and my mate Ollie, and we had a day's fishing, and we were sat on the sea lawns catching fish, and I was like, I should be filming this. But it was
Yeah.
nice to just leave them in my box, the cameras, and just enjoy fishing, have a laugh, and not be thinking, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've got a bite, quickly get the camera turned on."
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to have the odd
It is
session without the
it's a
cameras
pain in
because
the ass.
yeah, people
It
don't get
can be.
it.
They don't. They
Yeah,
don't. They. I want more people to do it, just so they can they can see what actually goes into making a half or trying to make a half decent video.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not people say, "Oh, you're only doing it for the money," but there's not.
Mate,
The money's
mate,
rubbish for the time you put in.
I
It's just nice to like just do it for obviously like I like to do it just to teach people things. So it's nice for that and
yes,
just if you get a bit of money through it, then happy days. It's just a little bonus on the side.
Mate, if I showed you my Google AdSense, right, of what I've made on YouTube, it's honestly pittance,
Yeah, it's
pennies.
nothing for the hours you put in, and they're
Oh
coming home and
God,
editing the video, and then because I always aim to get my videos up on Sunday afternoon. The amount of times, because I've been to work, I've left it to edit the video Saturday, and
yeah,
then I've uploaded it, gone to bed, woke up in the morning, Sunday morning, and it's the hard drive plugged into my laptop has unplugged itself somehow through the night. I think, oh no, I got to redo it, and the video's not up in time, and it's just such a stress
yeah,
to keep everything consistent.
yeah.
But it's the behind scenes that people don't get.
You
Not that
you
they'll
think
get,
about
but they
it.
don't see.
You think about it, right? So if you go on a, I don't know, 6 hour, 8 hour fishing session, then you've probably got another 2 hours, 2, 3 hours
Yeah,
of editing and
yeah,
uploading, and then before you know it, right, you've done 11 hours, 11 hours worth of work for a
yeah.
half-hour video,
For a pack
which
of
will
squid, pays for a pack of squid.
which will get maybe
If
a
you're
few
lucky.
thousand views if we're lucky, like, innit?
Yeah,
I I started the YouTube, and like Pinnacle Angling was always my end goal. I
yeah,
always wanted my own tackle brand, and
yeah,
the YouTube for me was a way to kind of get my name and my face and my brand out
yeah.
there before releasing the tackle. At least then people kind of knew who I was and what
Yeah, and I think that's quite important. I think people like to see the people behind the products
yeah, 100%.
and seeing you testing them and not just thinking, oh, there's a rods for sale. Oh, I wonder who's doing
Yes,
that. And
yes,
and
yeah,
people, I think people are going more towards the smaller companies because they know that obviously like you doing it on your own, and it's I don't think people understand. People seem to think, oh, I just gone to China, bought a rod, stuck his name on, that's it. But the
yeah.
work that goes into it, the time and the
It's
money as well. It's
yeah.
a lot of money spent
But
before you've made a penny.
oh yeah, this my first batch of I if I was to work out the if I was to work out the entirety of the amount of money I spent over the last 2 years in development and prototypes
Mm.
and shipping and
Yeah,
testing and fuel and just everything and the initial buy-in of the first batch of rods, and I wrote a lot of that off. I know I'm
yeah,
not going to make that money back. That
part
is
of the
what it
game.
is. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is. It was a risk I
Or for
took, and
instance, oh, go on.
yeah, no, it was a risk I took, and it's it is what it is. It's part and parcel of the
Yeah,
thing. And
100%.
I've seen some comments from some people saying like white label rods and everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone,
Yeah,
I got pretty thick skin. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't really care what the naysayers say, or people who
yeah,
have never done what we've done, or
yeah.
to build anything. It doesn't matter to me, you know. But what
Well, no
does
matter
matter
how
to me
big
then
you get,
is,
you'll always
is
have people
oh,
out there.
100%. And I think the why I think the more subscribers, the more your channel is gonna reach over the next like 6 months, 12 months, or whatever. I think you got potential easily to get to the 7,500, 10,000 within the next year. I think if you keep
Thanks.
consistent and thing, you will get there.
Yeah,
And I think the wider the audience, obviously that opens up to
yeah,
some
sure.
some idiots as well. You know,
Yeah, and you can't get
some
anything
like
involved in. Yeah, you can't involve yourself with the general public and
no.
expect no like stupid comments.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But like I've done short videos of like people casting my rod and stuff, right? And like the latest one I done was with Kevin, and Kevin's a top caster, and he does the old back cast. You know what I mean? And
Oh
I've got
yeah,
a video
I've
up
seen this
and he's
video.
done.
Yeah.
So Kev Shortman is really good with the back cast, and
Hmm. Yeah, it
he
shows in the video actually.
the video, right, as it's probably one of my most viewed on my Facebook channel, right? But the comments of people on there, right? Some of it is like, why, like, why,
It's almost
would you
it's funny in a
like
way.
that? Yeah, it is. It
It's
is.
embarrassing
'Cause
to put the
why would you write some of the things people write on a video with like somebody who's as experienced as Kev is with the
yeah.
casting, former casting coach, and knows exactly what he's doing. You know, I've had people saying he's endangering lives. He's it's like it's mental, honestly.
Well, it's no
You know,
different to a pendulum. The net's still coming around the same direction. It's just you're facing a different way
exactly.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I can't, the one comment that made me laugh the most is I just, I still am baffled by it to this day. I was on white light and I caught a bass. And for anyone that knows me knows that like I eat a lot of fish that I catch of all different
yeah,
species. And I said in the video, I'm going to take it. It's not going to go to waste.
yeah,
And a guy commented and he said it was like typical English, a typical Welsh, don't put fish back. Call yourself a sport fisherman. Unsubscribing. And I was like, well, for start, I'm not Welsh. For second, I'm not calling myself a sport fisher. I'm just out fishing and doing a video. And what does it make a
yeah,
difference if I keep a fish or not? The amount of
exactly.
fish that you see put back with hook links stuck down their throat and cut
Yeah,
lines, is that
they're
fish
not
is
surviving.
dying? No
Yeah,
chance. I've seen people
yeah,
put rays
exactly.
back and they've got a pair of 6 O's down its neck and they cut the line. Say, oh, I'll rust out in a couple of days. It don't rust. It will
No,
rust out when the fish is
it's
dead,
not.
after the fish is dead.
You know, and like from owning a tackle brand myself, them hooks, the testing we go through, I've left stuff in salt water just sitting there just to see
Yeah.
corrosion levels and thing. That trust me,
Months and months.
that hook is not
No.
going anywhere.
To
It
the point
really
where you
isn't.
might as well use stainless steel in a sense, because it just there's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think it
absolutely.
was who was it when the Barry boys I make I think it was John Bray years ago who did a tester, and I'm sure it was literally months before the hook
Yeah,
started rusting enough to snap at least.
yeah,
If it
yeah.
corrodes away, it's
Yeah,
at least a year, I'd say, sometime with the beefier hooks.
yeah. 100%, and all the hooks these days they're all nickel coated and
Yeah.
they, it's not rusting out in a
No.
hurry, you know.
And if you're
So
concerned about that, just go to PVA hooks. They'll melt away then. Make sure make the
so
PVA hooks for the fish lovers.
yeah. So where can people find you online, mate?
So at the minute, it's just my Instagram, Facebook, and my YouTube.
Okay.
They could probably end up coming across my work account on my Instagram and Facebook as well.
Yeah,
That's just my Asprou, which is copy and joinery, but my main one's just my YouTube, I suppose. And in Instagram, I do a lot more than Facebook. I don't really do a
yeah.
great deal on Facebook as of now.
How are you finding Instagram?
A
You find
lot
it
better
quite tough?
than Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah, I prefer it because it seems like there's more people on there that have an account and upload for things they're interested in. But Facebook, you got to, as you all know, the keyboard warriors behind their laptops and stuff. I
yeah,
haven't noticed hardly anything compared to as having on Instagram. It doesn't seem to be
oh,
much at
okay.
all. And I haven't really,
Yeah,
I've never been one on social media to think like I want to get 500 likes on a post. I just put it up.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
put myself out
And if
there.
it does well, it does well.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
not after likes and all that and comments.
No, but yeah.
There's more
Well,
to life than that.
it's been an absolute pleasure sitting down and talking with you.
Thank
I
you.
I really have enjoyed myself. I
Yeah,
wish you all the
it's been
best
great actually.
with the YouTube. I wish you all the best with the joinery business and whatever else you've got coming up close in the
Thanks, mate.
future. And
Yeah,
it would be great if we could one day do get together, do a session,
yeah,
maybe a video. I'd
100%. Leave a like we
send
say
you
down
all
the
the
telephone or
feedback.
something if you want to see it. I would try
Yeah,
that area. So
no,
definitely keep
absolutely.
in touch. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
always up for learning and expanding my knowledge. So yeah, definitely. So
Awesome. Thanks for
guys,
having me on.
yeah, not a problem at all. Guys, don't forget Mario Asprou YouTube channel. Absolutely fantastic channel. Great how-to videos. He uploads videos, tries to every Sunday, and
Fingers crossed.
hopefully there's some content on there that you might find enjoyable. Right. Thank you very much for popping by, mate.
Thanks,
Really
everyone.
appreciate it.
Always, thank
Hope you
you.
enjoyed, guys. See you
Thanks, yeah,
soon.
everyone.